All right, here is today's lesson. When you go in, you're going to see interpreting functions and overview, and you click on the link, and the link is going to bring you here. And what I would do for you right now is I would pause your computer and I would go open this link and then go read through, because there are 3 questions. It says choose and answer only one of the following 4 questions and submit your answer by taking a picture and sending it via the Remind app. So if you want to go ahead and look through these 3, it's actually 3 questions for this one. And if you understand how to do one of them and you want to complete one of them, go for it. And then again, as it says, complete it on another sheet of paper or in this sheet. Well, no, you'd need another sheet. And then send it in via the Remind app. So if you don't want to watch the rest of this video because you get it, go for it. I am going to explain question number 1, then question number 2, then question number 3. So if you wanted to fast forward through to the question that you are going to answer, you could also do that, and it'll be quicker. All right, so here's the first question. It says, when Robert Downey Jr. first pursued acting, he was barely making it financially by working at a fast food restaurant. He had to borrow $800 to pay his rent and, unwisely, went to a paycheck loan company which charged an extremely high interest rate. The total amount he asked to borrow, plus the interest charged, was fixed into a set amount and broken into a regular monthly payment plan. The graph below shows the amount of his debt over time. So that's what we're looking at, the amount of his debt over time. It says choose 3 pieces of information to identify out of the list below. Make sure that you state actual numbers and that you explain how you knew what those numbers were. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F. We have 6 different things. You have to select 3 of them and identify. So the first one, the total amount of money he owed the company. Looking at this graph, what was the total amount of money he owed the company? And you would answer that and write it down. Letter B, how long did it take him to pay off the debt? Again, referring back to the graph, how long did it take him to pay off the debt? Letter C, how much he actually paid in interest. Letter D, what was his monthly payment, or what his monthly payment was. Letter E, what the 0.6, 810 means. So wherever 810, it looks like this point right here. What does that point mean? And then the last one, what his monthly payment plan would have needed to be in order to have paid his debt off in a year instead. So again, there are 6 questions here based on the graph. You look at the graph and then you figure out the 3 that you want to do. On your paper, if you were doing this one, this would be question 1. And then you would just write down the letters that you wanted to solve, A, B, C, D, E, or F. Okay, that's the first one. Question 2. Luke is having a birthday party for his son, Jake, who is turning 10 years old. Jake wants to go to Jump Around, where they charge an upfront cost of $100 plus $4 for every party attendee. Luke created the equation below where C of P represents the cost and P represents the number of people attending. So here's the equation. C of P equals 4P plus 100. The first part says state whether or not his equation is correct based on Jump Around's charges. Then justify your statement with mathematical evidence. What that means is tell whether the equation is correct and then prove it. Maybe putting in a certain amount of people. The second one, Luke created a graph shown to represent his equation. Here's the graph. Give 2 pieces of information you can use to justify whether Luke graphed his equation correctly or not, and explain how they show this. Be sure to state actual numbers based on the graph and explain any calculations that you made. Okay, so that's question 2. you would have to do both parts on that one. Okay, let's go to the third question. The third question says, write a story to describe the graph. Within your story, explain what each line segment AB, line segment AB, line segment BC, line segment CD, DE, and EF represents. Okay, so you would do that. Based on your story, state and interpret the following. So you're either going to identify the y-intercept or the x-intercept of this graph. You might have to go back and find some videos on that. You're going to either figure out the domain or the range. Again, you're probably going to have to go back or look it up online. You can always look stuff up online. The C, rate of change for segment AB or for segment DE. AB or DE. The coordinates of point F. You could do the coordinates of point F. And then you could write an equation to represent the line CD. Write an equation to represent the line CD. Okay, so again, based on your story, interpreting. So you would have to do one of A, one of B, one of C, D, and E for question number 3. So again, you only have to do, let's review, we only have to do one of these questions. You could do 3, you could do 2, or you could do 1. Write your answer down on a sheet of paper, take a picture of it, and send it to me. You may have to go back, and if you do have questions, you can always use the internet, or you could go back to our video notes that we've used in the past. Okay, have a good one. Take care. Let's see, how do I get out of here?